Aha! Sports fans, how's it going? It's Pitch BTCC. It's Paul O'Neill. Hello and welcome. I hope you are all good. Hello there, Ty Bruce. How are you? Martin Reardon's joined and four others. John, how are you, mate? I hope you're good. Hey, how's it going? Everyone's joining. Everyone's watching. Pit Lane Jamie, I'm sound. Thanks, mate. I hope you are well too. Sock Monkey Steph, how's about yay? All good. Michael, you good? Evening, Oe. I am sound. Thank you very much. My mum's here. Kathy Ford has joined. Good to see you, Mum. Ollie Chambers, hello, hello, hello. You lovely people. Wow, I've got the back door open here at home, actually. So, Miss Spinderella, hello. Victoria. I've got the window open here and, the back door, so everyone can probably hear what I'm saying, which is a bit random. So, let me explain. So, a lot of you guys will know that we've been doing our little Q&As on Pitch BTCC, and we had Ash Sutton lined up, which was absolutely cool. The champ was going to join us, but to be fair, I know he's a pretty busy guy, and he constructs simulators for a living on the back burner with British touring cars, and he unfortunately had a bit of a malfunction with some of the stuff today, and it took him 3 hours more than he thought it would, so he was never going to get over to us, which is a bit of a shame. So we got somebody to step in for us, and that person to step in is actually his teammate. So Ash Sutton couldn't make it, and we got our main man, Aiden Moffat, to come and join us, which is pretty cool. So I'm just waiting for Aiden to join now. I have told him what time, and also what we're going to be chatting about, and I'm just waiting for him to come and join. I said 6:30, and it's now 6:32, so, but to be fair, he does live in Scotland, doesn't he? So I don't know if the time's a bit different up there, which is probably why he's not here yet. But anyway, so I'm hoping all you guys are good. I hope you've had a cracking week, and it's all been sweet as a nut. The weather today is unbelievable, isn't it? Connie here's asking, how are you, mate? It's Ali from Sandbach Services. Oh, hello, Ali. That's quite a cool story, actually. Yeah, the gentleman asking that, I seen you, didn't I? I was parked, I shouldn't really say this, I was parked on double yellers at Sandbach Services one morning, going in for some porridge at McDonald's, because I obviously don't eat unhealthy food, and I had a gentleman coming over to me with a high vis on. I was like, oh god, this is not ideal. Am I going to get a telling off here for not parking in the right place? I was in the coach bit, actually. I shouldn't really say this, but I'll tell you anyway. And in the end, it was a young gentleman who was a massive touring car fan. So it was about 10 to 6 in the morning. I remember I was going to Brands Hatch or something, and we had a little chat about British touring cars, and he's joined today. But yeah, we had a chat about touring cars, and then him and his lovely missus come along to Alton Park, which was very, very nice. So there you go. And I still speak to Ali, and hopefully, mate, when touring cars gets going, we'll be all in good stead. Right, hang on a minute. Aiden Moffat's text me. Let me see. Don't actually know what I do here. Brilliant. Hang on a minute. Let me ring him. Aiden, can you actually see? Are you watching, mate? Oh, here we go. Aiden Moffat is watching. Aiden, if you're watching, press send request. That's all you need to do. You're about 16. You should know exactly what's going on. Can you send a request, mate? And then we'll get you involved. You're going to get proper ripped in a minute, mate. I'm in. Ha, 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 ha. Is this actually you, Aiden? Have you actually sent a request, mate? This is brilliant. Of all the people I know, I never thought it'd be Aiden Moffat, the most handsome man in the world, and youngest person. I don't know if you like British touring guide, but I wouldn't have thought so. But I would have thought you'd know what you're doing. Anyway, it's connecting to Aiden, which is cool.
What's happening, lad?
Mate, what are you doing?
Mate, I just got back from work.
Brilliant. Hey, listen. I was just like giving it the big and saying Aiden is like the best person ever. He's like so technologically advanced. Like, you know, if I had like Plato or someone on here, they wouldn't be able to work the thing. And there you are with your tan. Have you got a wig on?
This is my new crash helmet. Nice, isn't it?
Mate, Donald Trump's been on the phone. He said he wants his hairstyle. Oh, word. Mate,
Been a while.
listen, actually, it's a good point to start on because a lot of people think that British touring car drivers just drive racing cars, and we had a little chat. But yeah, it's a joke, isn't it? You actually are one of the biggest grafters I know, actually, and you've got a little skip business that you've just started with Seb Melrose, one of your mates, isn't you?
Can I go and grab my dad? You can tell me I'm a grafter again. He'll be so proud of me. Yeah, it's just something I've started just now. It's something new for us. Obviously, we've got a few different things on the go up in Scotland. We've got our Raceworks, which is we do tuning, rolling roads, exhaust, race car setup. We've got our paint shop where we do restorations and whatnot. And my dad's obviously got his main business, a car transport. And now me and my mate Seb have started our waste management company, EnviroWorks. So yeah, it was busy times.
What's happening, big man?
Here he is. Hello, boy. Oh my word. I'll tell all the viewers. Has he just come in from work with you as well?
We live together now.
We've basically just started lockdown together because we work together every day, trying to do stuff for this business. So yeah, he's the other son that my mum never wanted.
He looks like Jack Goff, but on a really good day.
A younger version.
No way. Do you know, that is so cool that you boys are involved, because obviously well, not obviously, people don't know, but I host the SMRC Awards up in Scotland, and you two boys always make my night. When it's like late November, December, you two boys turn up in like white suits. You just look like like giving it the big.
You make the night what it is, though. You've got to remember that.
I think people are just laughing because they can't understand me.
They can't understand.
That's
me
what
either,
happens to us, mate.
Oh my word! I was going to say to everybody watching, this is the most viewers you've ever had, and I think people are just coming on just to see your mouth move, because I don't even know what you're saying, mate.
He's a good-looking lad, isn't he? He's a good-looking lad.
It's a shame I've got this cut. It looks like I've
You
been
should see his
kissing
phone
dirty
right now.
girls.
He's pinging away with Snapchats.
It's Tinder.
Hey, I would hate to be on a night out with you two. I bet you guys get up to no good whatsoever. Or he is like, have you got a girlfriend?
Nah, never.
Saints. Absolute saints.
Actually, what's Seb doing this year? Is he doing Porsche Carrera Cup?
Yeah, Porsche Carrera Cup, but I'm not sure now. Obviously, I've had a word with the team boss that stop zooming in my face. I don't know. To be honest, man, I don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic. In my opinion, I don't know if there will be racing, but hopefully there will be. But if there is, then Porsche Carrera Cup it is. If we're back racing, then it's going to be Porsche.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for that political statement, mate, Nicola Sturgeon.
Real fun. What? Real fun.
Oh, yeah, I was having a great night. Thanks, Seb.
I know. Sorry, pal.
I've got people slagging my haircut now.
Yeah, Paul. What are you going to say to these people?
I never came on for this.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with your haircuts.
Can you get me a girlfriend on this thing?
Look at that.
Mate,
You're like Jedward, mate.
Can everyone press the love hearts if they want to go out with Seb?
Let's see. No love hearts.
No,
absolutely. No one's bothered, mate.
There's one.
Oh shit. Oh, sorry, mate.
Sorry about that language. I don't think anyone understood what you said anyway, mate. Don't worry about it. My word.
Oh, there's a love hearts going like that.
Oh, there you go. Hey, the worrying thing about that's probably just my mum.
No, I think my mum's watching from inside.
So,
which is disappointing because I thought she had the dinner on.
Hey, is Seb seriously living at yours then?
But pretty much, just because where the work is. Seb's at the other side of Edinburgh from me, and then he's too tight to buy fuel every day. So just with us, we're working 5 minutes from my house. So, Mum, you can't give me a telling off. I'm on Instagram Live with Paul O'Neill. Look, it's because of my work clothes, and she got a fancy seats.
Oh, she told you to stand up.
What's the uncoolest thing that can happen on an Instagram live?
Your mum, yeah. Hey, I'll be honest though, you do look filthy. I mean, what has gone on? It's like you need a wash. Have you not had a chance to have a wash? Are you just like jumping into Ash Sutton's shoes and like you've just come on to help me out and I'm giving you grief and everyone else's?
Pretty much, mate. I'm just here. I'm here to take abuse, really. I've got my haircut slagged. I've got told off by my mum.
Hey, listen, hey, I'm not being funny. What am I supposed to say about haircuts? I mean, gee, I think mine's growing back, if I'm honest.
But if you put both our haircuts together, we'd have a very good haircut. So as a team.
Hey,
sweet.
If you look as good as me when you're 40, mate, actually, you probably look like some Hollywood superstar when you're 40.
I need to speak to Tom Chilton. He's still got brilliant hair.
I don't know how he does that.
I need to figure it out. That's why I'm growing mine, so that when it starts going, I've got plenty left just to play with. Because I'm seeing my dad's haircut thinking I've got 2 years left in this.
Oh, mate, don't. No, it doesn't go on your dad. It goes on your dad's dad.
No, it's your mum's dad.
Is it your mum's dad?
Your mum's dad.
Your mum's dad? Well, he's got hair.
Oh, right, okay. Well, like,
Okay.
my dad is 75 and he's had bowel cancer. He's got type 2 diabetes.
What the hell?
He's sound. He's all right now. But
No,
he's
glad to hear that.
got more hair than the Bee Gees, mate. I'm looking at the state of me.
That's
So, I am fuming, mate. That's fuming.
you're
not
putting an easy run.
Oh, mate, it's not good. So listen, Aiden, you've got a massive fan base, mate, huge. And it's not all about your good looks, obviously.
Apparently not. With this.
Do you know what really got me when I thought about, speaking to you about coming on today is how long you've actually been in touring cars. This will be your 8th year.
It's 2013 was my debut.
At Knockhill?
At Knockhill. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't a memorable weekend for you, was it?
Hey, you know what? I forgot that was 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were out in the in Insignia, wasn't it? And then I done the Chevrolet Cruze, which was just as bad for me.
Hey, that was my old car.
Well, the S2000.
S2000, but it had a Swindon turbo engine in it, I think. Yours?
I'm not sure, but I'd never driven it before until Saturday FP1. I didn't even know what a touring car was. I jumped in it and the engine went. So I done no testing, straight into race 1, down on power and no setup. Couldn't get gears. Race 2, I thought we fixed it, and the wishbone snapped coming through the chicane, and they were like, "That's the day over."
That's right. You went straight on at the chicane, didn't you? Because I remember I come round. Actually, no, I don't even think I'd got that far. I remember seeing your car in the gravel trap, and it just looked like you went straight on. So you hit the curb, and it something had broke before that. But
yeah,
I remember that was my old car. It was either my old car or it was John George's car.
I know it's the one Jake Giddens was in. I don't know if that helps.
Finesse Motorsport.
Finesse, yeah, Finesse.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was, mate. Well, I remember you making your debut because I was either busy drilling the back of Kieran Gallagher in qualifying because he hit the 4,000 metre board, or I was too busy getting turned around and put in the pit wall by Nick Foster in his 6,000 horsepower dragster BMW.
It was eventful. It was eventful.
What do you remember of your weekend? Then do you remember, because you're the youngest British touring car starter, I think it's 16 years of age.
Yeah, 16. So I mean,
how old are you now?
I was that was a blur. I never really knew what it was all about, to be honest. I had someone asked me to have a one-off shot kind of thing, as you could back then before all the rules have changed now. How many drivers, of course, and we thought that sounds cool. A fast car around Knockhill, we'll do it. And I remember showing up, and then I was on STV News and all of this, and all the cameras are coming to you, and you're turning around to see who's there. It's obviously you don't expect it. You don't know what. I never knew how big a deal British touring cars was. So,
massive.
And I remember just being kind of amazed at how amazing it was to be a part of. And then I remember being annoyed at how horrendous it went. So, but I was lucky though. I was lucky. The fact it went so bad is the only reason I'm still in British touring cars today, without a doubt. Because it went so bad, that was, as I said, that was a one-off shot. But because there was obviously a big thing in the press about being the youngest ever, and it went horrendous, we thought we can't stop like that. We'll need to try and do something else now. And that's why we...
Was that honestly your mindset?
Yeah, 100%. It went that bad. We thought we'll try and finish the season because it went so bad. I was looking at Clio's VW, the VW Cut, all of these type of things, and I wasn't focused on British touring cars at all because I thought it's too far away for me. I'll never be able to make that happen. So yeah, we done the Passat when it was Tom Onslow Coles with Team Hard. Finished in the points at Brands GP, raced at Silverstone as well. And from that, Laser Tools got in contact with us, and here we are, 7 years later, still as Laser Tools Racing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive partnership, isn't it? Because a lot of people won't know, Willie, that myself and you, we teamed up, didn't we? And I tried to help you out by showing you how to crash.
That worked. That went well.
Do you know what I remember? I remember I didn't know much about you, and I think you'd been driving in Fiesta Juniors, and you'd done a Ginetta Junior race as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I done one. That was I think the car broke down 3 times in 2 races on the straight, so that was also great fun. I don't know what actually made me go to the Toka package after my first 2 experiences, to be honest.
Writing was on the wall, Aiden.
No, it's meant to be. But never mind.
Hey, but listen, like I was saying, people don't know, but I remember your dad rang me, and I didn't know your dad, Bob, who is just one of the best characters, and I've got a lot of time for your dad. I know a lot of people have. He's a proper guy. He gave me a shout, and he said, could you come and help Aiden out? And I come and drove you had an RML Cruise at the time?
Yeah, the one that was the Andy Neat Chevrolet Cruise.
That was it, yeah. And you guys yourselves had your own team. And I come along, and I forget who the engineer was.
It was Phil.
It was Phil, wasn't it? Yes. So Phil come along. He'd been on quite a few cars. I think Andy Neat's car he'd been on, hadn't he?
Yeah, he was on that. He was all part of designing and building that, I believe, with Andy. That was their project. And then he stayed with us when obviously Andy didn't continue doing it in 2014.
But that was a wicked car. I remember being at a semi-exclusive at Silverstone.
Yeah.
And you'd not done a lot of racing in touring cars, and I got asked to go out and go and do a few laps. And that car, I think I was only about, people were probably sandbagging, but I was only 3 or 4 tenths off what people were doing in the Hondas and stuff.
Yeah.
Around Silverstone National, and it was. I remember you really gaining and getting to grips with the car, but it only become apparent to me seeing you at Donington. I think you were always mega at Donington. Why were you always so good at Donington? You had your first win there. You had a P5 there, I remember. You've been 17th everywhere else, and then you had to bang P5 at Donington, something like that.
You know what was funny at Donington was actually the first time I got my first independent win, when I was younger and a bit of a hothead, unlike the calm, mellow man that I am now, obviously. I think, someone took me out, and all I was focused on the last race, I started 16th, and I thought, I'm catching them and I'm getting them, because they never done nothing about it, and that's all I was focused on. But as I caught them, I can't remember who it was, and a car got between us and I overtook them both at the same time. But because I was in this mindset, I was like, I'll just keep pushing, and that's when I kind of found something in myself, being more aggressive with the car. And I was just, ever since then, I just clicked with Donington, and it was that day I kind of found something. I was giving it too much respect. Everyone always told me how a touring car can bite you and be smooth, and obviously there's not being too aggressive, but I was driving out of the anger that day that then it kind of clicked with me, and it made me realise that you do need to be a bit more aggressive with the car. And I think as well, we've not done a lot of racing. Donington's, it's such a flowing track, isn't it? It's not got your technical stuff like Croft, Oulton Park, your hairpins, It's only really got the one chicane, which is a bit of a throw up through, which used to be over the sausage curb. So I think as a driver, that was always my strengths: fast corners, having the car moving about, and the slow technical stuff is a lack of experience. That's what I needed to work on. So I think that's why Donington's just always been a strong track for me, to be honest.
So cars moving around and being brave, Thruxton being one of them. I remember being stood on the bank in winter testing and seeing one of the biggest accidents I have ever seen in a British touring car. Like, you come out the pits, it must have been but it was in the cruise, so it must have been 2014. So
it was 2014 pre-season, yeah.
So you'd not done much at all in touring cars. And then I remember thinking, oh, that's brave. Like, you'd come out the pits. I think it was like your outlap or first, like, you were so fast in Goodwood, and it just went in fifth gear. Talk us through that, because that was a monster.
It's a funny story, actually. That was my first time in the wet in a British touring car. And I was young. And the advice I got before it from a high-up member in the team that we don't work with anymore was, these are brand new wet tyres. And I was only at the cut slicks when I was doing the Scotland stuff. So rain or dry, it's cut slicks. So they said, yeah, these wet tyres, as soon as you come out the pits, you're on it. They didn't tell me they were brand new with the shine on them. They just said you're ready to go. And they said, the first fast car you see, just follow them. It just so happened to be Sheddon and his Honda. And I thought, okay, I'll follow him. And I remember sliding, and Sheddon was sliding in front of me and caught it. And I thought, yeah, I've caught this as well. I've definitely caught this. I've not caught this, and I've looked out the window, and I've kind of turning left, and it's because it's slow motion over the grass. You know, turning different ways, throttle, brake, and I've looked up, and all I've seen was the marshal running through the field, and I thought, yeah, he's seen this before. I'm going to crash. So, that was a big crash.
I remember seeing the car afterwards, and it was in a right sorry state. It was properly battered, but a strong car. The strong cars, aren't they? The NGTC cars.
Yeah, it was funny as well, because it was left-hand drive, so it was driver's door into the marshal's post. And on the way back was the first time I went in to properly meet with Laser. Because when we initially met them, I think I had exams at school, so my dad had to go and meet them, Martin and Keith. So yeah, my first test of how did you get on? The car's bent like a banana and I can't move my neck. Thanks for asking. so I think they were thinking, have we sponsored the right person here? But, it's turned out good.
Oh mate, honestly, fair play to you. I was on the bank. I was like, because I was doing some split times for somebody, but I was glad to see you were all right, mate. But you were in that A class for quite a while, to be fair, weren't you? With Laser Tools, and they've been fantastic partners of you. But you got your first. Did you get your first podium at Knockhill?
I did, but I didn't get to. It was a post-race reversal with Andy Prio, so I finished fourth on the track, but it wasn't until after the podium I got the third place. So I've still never actually stood on the podium at my home race, which obviously is every driver's dream, I guess, isn't it? So, but yeah, that is where I got my first podium.
Yeah, it's always a shame, isn't it, when it works out like that? But there's nothing you can really do. Touring cars is so, everybody who's probably watching knows touring cars actually as well as a pundit like myself would, because they live it and breathe it like you do driving. But as a driver, it just happens so fast, doesn't it? The weekend is like, it's over in a blink, isn't it?
It's mad. I think sometimes as well. I remember you can see it, and people will sometimes think our drivers being rude at points, but I think it's I think I speak for all the drivers on the grid with how big a part the fans play, how important the fan base is to all of us and the supporters. But it's so full on that you're kind of running about and you're focusing on so much things, and there's so much you can do to change the car between races, and everything else that comes with it is obviously yourself, but for the people watching that, sometimes you're that caught up in it. And it's such a hectic weekend that you are a bit all over the place. When you struggle to get those 2 minutes to yourself that you need, don't you? So it's hard, but it's all part of what makes it such a great day out. It's three very competitive races and a lot of action. So that's why it's such a great day out to be at and so popular.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of love for you on here, mate. A lot of love. A lot of people say they've met you. You're a proper lad. You've got a rubbish haircut. They like your dad more. Seb seems like a nice guy. Listen. Look at him with his high vis on. It's like watching Train Spotting with you two.
That's a compliment.
Listen, what about...
I've got belly now.
Well, you'll be all right. You've got loads.
I've got some B cups to go with it too. Look at the B cup.
You've got a long way to catch me up, Captain. Tell me about Brands Hatch and what I think is probably the hardest circuit on the calendar to get a result. We go there at Brands Hatch GP and you pull it out the bag time and time again at the end of the year. P2 I remember you having in one of the years, but also you won race one when Turkington was battling for the title and he actually headbutted by the way, from what I remember.
Yeah, I won race one and I was winning race two with about 3 laps to go with full ballast, and he punted me out the way in race two, or I would have got the 2 wins. I've had a independent win there, a second there. It's a track I love. I think, bravery's not enough. You need to be able to drive. You need the car under you, but Brands GP definitely favours bravery. It's quite old school through the back section. It's kind of fast, high-speed corners with no runoff, apart from grass, which is usually wet at that time of the year.
Followed by a barrier.
Yeah, a metal barrier and some trees. Just so if you get it wrong, you're in safe hands. But yeah, it's just a track I love. I love the feeling from driving it. It's again the car's really reactive around there. It moves around a lot, and with it being hilly as well. I know there's a technical term, but I forget that. All the other drivers, what's it called? What's it? What's it to say?
Undulation.
Undulation. I can't even say it. But hills.
I love how between me and you we didn't have a clue, and then the guy who's got it looks like he's been tarmacking all afternoon. He knows exactly what it means.
so anyway, back to the hills. Yeah, it's kind of like your Knock Hill vibe as well, which obviously it causes the car to be more unstable again, and it's that kind of driving that and feeling that on those tracks that I love and apparently suit me. So it's always a track I love going to.
Take me back to 2017 when you did have that win in race one, and then Colin had that headbutt on you in race two. I know you were very good friends, or still are, with Ash Sutton, who's now your teammate. Just tell us, what was going on that weekend? Because I know you're a sound lad, and I know you take everything on the chin, but you were quite wound up that weekend, and you weren't trying to help Ash out. You were just running your own race. But was there any grievances after that? And you don't seem like someone who'd hold a grudge, to be fair.
What's this? Sorry, with
you were with Colin Turkington when
you
were battling, and you were getting in the way by leading the race. Was there any bad blood between you or anything?
No, I think. I'm out for me. I'm out for myself and my sponsors. I'm selfish that way. If I'm winning a race, I want to win. I don't really care who you are, and if you've got a championship, if I can win a race, I'll win a race. But at the same time, if I'm in 6th or 7th or 8th, people can sometimes moan about a driver letting someone by. But if it's someone I like and get on with and have respect for, I wouldn't then fight it. Last year I think I was sitting in 4th. The year before last, I remember sitting in 4th. I got past Jordan for 3rd. He locked up and hit me wide, and I fell back to 4th. But my front tyres went, so I knew I wasn't getting the podium spot again. So 4th doesn't really mean nothing. And I remember letting Tom by when Tom was going for the championship, and I've always had a lot of respect for Tom and got on well with him. So in terms of things like that, I think you've just got to take it as it comes. You can't give up a race win when you've got your fans, your sponsors, your friends and family there, and obviously for yourself. But I think it's always within reason. If you're down the grid a bit and someone's battled so hard, it's not the right thing to do, is it? To get in the way of opportunity for someone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
I mean, after that, I can't say I was praying for Colin to win the championship after that incident. I think I was wound up would be an understatement, because I think he had the pace anyway. If he pushed me wide and I came second, or I was still in second, then I can understand he was. I think he was quite out of character that weekend, where he was a bit desperate and kind of, you could tell he was a bit wound up, which is obviously, as we all know, so unlike Colin. He's such a collected driver. So yeah, those things happen. I think it's the fact that I got pushed that wide. I rejoined in fifth and lost everything I'd worked all race for, was the frustration.
Interesting you say that about Colin, actually, because I thought that weekend he was very out of character. Looked not desperate, but just did things that I couldn't believe. I had to defend him on Twitter because there was people calling him a cheat, and I think you'll agree. There's one thing Colin isn't, and that's a cheat. But what he did to you, it was a bit cheap, to be fair, and it's something that Colin would never usually do. And I think he would have apologised, especially to you.
Yeah, I mean, he came out his way. I can't say I was much up for hearing it initially, but it's racing, isn't it? You've got the crash helmets on, the red mist's there, and then you can give yourself 10 minutes, and it's all part of racing, isn't it? It's the most competitive championship in the UK. There's a lot of, there's a lot of on the line. You've got your sponsors to please, and yeah, I mean, it happens, isn't it? So it's all part of it. I like to think my time will come one day too. So who's to say if that is the case, that I'm going to be the perfect driver, and I'm not going to be the one that's a bit kind of, oh dear, I better get a move on. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't really hold grudges. I've Colin, I've still got a lot of respect for him, and obviously you have to admire what he's achieved in the British Touring Car Championship. So yeah, we got on. It's just one of those things that it happened. It was unfortunate, but so be it.
No, fair play, mate. I fully respect that. And I don't know if you know, actually, mate, it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week.
Right,
yeah, and to be fair, mate, I'll be really honest. I only know because of a friend, and I can imagine a lot of people are struggling at the minute with the situation we're in, and how they keep themselves active and their brain, you know, in a good state. I know for me, I do a lot of cycling and things like that, and you're working, and you've got Seb as your mate with you as well, which will help. But the reason I say it is because I remember 2018 speaking to you in the Merc, and you started off pretty well. I think you had a podium at Donington, and then it went a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
And every time I spoke to you as a pundit and as a mate, you were just like, your head was a bit down, and then you spoke about going to see somebody to work out how you could be better, and then boom, you won at Silverstone. And it seems to talk us through it, because the mind is something that needs to be as healthy as the body, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, as you said, more as a mate, I think we spoke more about it that season, and I got to a stage where I thought, I'll probably make this my last one. I've focus on work and whatnot. It was going so bad, and it didn't matter what I tried, nothing was working, and it's your confidence definitely takes a huge hit, and you lose a lot of love for it, and it's just a constant thing. And every time you pick yourself back up, you get it looks like it's going half decent, qualifying, you're back down again, and it's just that sinking feeling again. And all of a sudden, it's in your head. You put pressure on yourself, as you say, and it was a very hard time. I mean, it actually turned out that after that season, we found out there was two quite big underlying issues with the car that we didn't know until we stripped it to a bare shell. But in the season, you don't know that, and I was doubting me as a driver, thinking, you know, I've not got what it takes. It's closer than ever, and I'm not there, so I must not be cut out for it. And I've obviously had a few races to go. You've got your sponsors you can't let down, and I thought it was something that I never thought I would ever see myself doing, was your mind control training, and almost like you're kind of meditating. And I spoke to you as well when I started doing the kind of the visualization stuff. So yeah, that was all about getting yourself in a better frame of mind, kind of believing in yourself, as kind of cliche as it sounds, and you're trying to regroup yourself and just go out a lot calmer, trust in what you can do, and be more focused. And that weekend, I just went into it with a completely different mindset, and I kind of believed that I can win this weekend, and obviously that's what happened after a terrible year. I did get that win, so it definitely shows how powerful the mind is, and that's in racing. But of course, for people watching, that relates to real life too. It's easy to get down, easy to be in these positions, and it's at the time it feels like the end of the world. But there's always people to speak to, and it's a lot easier said than done. It's just trying to do the right things, see the right people, and trying to get yourself out of that rut, I guess.
That's so true, mate. And a lot of people here are actually saying, actually, Paula, just saying the charity Mind are fantastic for mental health problems. And they work, or the Jeff Army, who you'll know and I know, they do a lot of charity stuff with them, don't they? And as crazy as the Jeff Army are, they're a bunch of nice people. And for what they do for the mental health charities and stuff, it is fantastic, isn't it? And I think people reach out, don't they, to maybe the likes of definitely the drivers like yourself, because everyone thinks your life's perfect, mate. And like you've just said on a live Instagram, sometimes you think you're on the verge and everything you've worked for, it could be game over, but the mind is so powerful. Just talk us through a bit of the creative visualization stuff, because we spoke quite a bit about it, because it won me my race at Alton Park, I reckon.
Well, that's what I kind of felt the same with that Silverstone weekend, and I've used it consistently ever since. And I think the best way to talk through it, I remember I had the onboard at Knockhill, and I don't know what it is. I finish it, and I've always kind of give myself a shake, and it's cut to the onboard camera as I'm doing it. I'm sure it was Tim Harvey. So as he's seen that, he's there's Aiden doing his lap, and I think he's crashed because I've given myself a shake. But yeah, I mean, the thing is nowadays, it's as you know, it's you don't just jump in, get a feel for the car, and drive as fast as you can. It's you look at all your data. Can I brake later? Do I need to brake earlier? Do I need to bleed in more? Do the pressure, my steering, input? There's so much to look at that when you're coming up to a corner, I think when you get in those rhythms where it's happening, but sometimes when you're struggling, you need to really focus more than other times. And with the visualization on that first lap, because you've drove the lap in your head, kind of, I'm in this gear, turning now. You arrive at the corner knowing where your brake point is, knowing where to aim for, and it just means at lap one you go, and as opposed to having to kind of build back up again, which, you know, in the first few laps you might make those places which can dictate the race, or it might be in qualifying, and if it's one of these changing conditions, or you don't, or you might get traffic later on, sometimes it's a case that first lap's the one that makes it count. So yeah, it's just to try and get in the rhythm and be ready for the minute the lights go out or the session starts.
You know, definitely, mate, and I'm fully with you. Like we spoke about it, it's amazing. A lot of people commenting. Some people are asking questions. I'll only keep it short for you, mate, because I know you've got to go. What's going on here? What we got here? Tom Fryer, with testing and track days behind closed doors, is this something Laser Tools and you are going to be doing soon? Are you going to be testing? Have you got anything planned, or there's nothing really you can plan? Is there track day starting?
We've not got nothing planned at all. We want to be testing. We need to be testing. I've only really done I mean, at the Silverstone Media Day, for that, I think I drove down from Scotland. I was actually changing Ash's tyres on rims and my tyres on rims in the BMR garage at 1:30 in the morning still. I drove the truck and got to Silverstone at 4:30 in the morning, and then I was up at 7:30 for Media Day. So I wouldn't really, and the car got finished in the morning and didn't have a setup, so I'm not classing that as an official test.
It was a test of your character.
Yeah, and then that night jumped in the race truck and drove to Brands Hatch with the cars in the back, because I've got my Class 1. I've had it since I was 19. So, and then those 2 days at Brands Hatch was the only official test we done. Obviously, we're still in the Affinity Q50, but it's a brand new chassis. And yeah, I mean, pretty much everything is different about it. The only thing that remains the same is it's a Swindon engine, really, and it's the components you have to use. But the car now reacts very differently to the setups we found made the last year's Infiniti Q50 work. So we need to do a lot of testing to be where we want to be come the first race. It's just really going with the flow just now and taking what we're given availability wise.
Okay, and what about one of the last questions I'll ask, mate? How was it with Ash Sutton and the Q50? We all know how good Ash is. I think you can give him a good run for his money. Who's that?
You still stealing radio cassettes?
Is that Bob? Is that your dad? I thought it was Stuart Lyons.
He's lost weight.
Gee, Bob!
Look at him go!
Oh my word! Bob has lost about 50 stone.
He's lost 3 stone. 3 stone he's lost.
Take him on. Where is he? What's he? I was going to ask how he is.
He's been brilliant ever since he came back from China. The weight's went right down. Can you see that? Is that bad?
Oh, mate. What's he been doing to lose weight? Why has he got your mum that straw hat on?
He's been bossing me and Seb about. That's what's been making him lose weight, trying to help us out.
That was the best things I've ever seen. That was Bob lifting his top up with like Dickie Bird's hat on from cricket.
Yeah, but I swear we're a normal family up here, by the way, just for all the English watchers.
No, honestly, that is amazing. So
what was the question?
Sorry, what it was? What's it like with Ash? I know he's a top man, he's a good friend, but brings a wealth of experience. To be fair, doesn't he, to the championship?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, I wanted to work with Ash and make that happen for this year, of course. Yeah, I mean, you could easily try and work with someone where we maybe could have tried to run a 2-car team more and get a kind of someone that's bringing the budget more and. Not that he's not obviously you know what I mean. You get people that come in paying above the odds as we've seen in touring cars, but with Ash it's more like we're working together as opposed to someone paying for the seat. He's trying to bring sponsors to the table. I'm trying to bring sponsors to the table. Existing sponsors are wanting to give more to be a part of this kind of 2-car Laser Tools racing team we've created, and it's we're now more of a selling point as a 2-car team, and so it is very much so a team now. It's not kind of 2 individuals in the same camp. It's really working together. And obviously I'll have my work cut out. In my eyes, I always say Ash is one of the best drivers on the grid. And he's done a lot of rear-wheel drive. This will be my first season rear-wheel drive. So I'm sure he'll show me up a bit, but I'd rather challenge myself. I'd rather learn from the best and have my work cut out and try and bring myself on as a driver for my future. I don't want to just make life easy for myself. I want to get to the stage where I'm consistently at the front, and that's my goal. And I think because me and Ash are friends, we'll work together and we want to see each other do well. So I'm looking forward to how it all pans out.
Absolute dream team, mate. Love it. Last thing, how far away are you from the house? Where's your mum?
She's at the other window.
Oh, is she? Let's go inside your house. Take Seb with you. What's he doing? And then we'll leave you to it, mate. So we'll have a look round. Come on, Seb.
I'm coming, mate. What do you think of this? Spatial here.
Let me see. That's nice. It looks very good, mate. Do you know what? It looks like your beard has got more hair than I've got on my head.
By the way, between us, we've maybe got half a beard.
Mate, look at your tash, Aiden. It looks like 5 aside.
It's horrendous. Mother, you're on Instagram live. No. As Paul wants to say hi. Oh, she's going mad. She's not happy, Paul.
Is she not? Where is she? Hey!
She's been cleaning all day. There's the brains of the family.
Hello, you okay?
She's studying to be a doctor. She's studying to be a doctor. She sees that I crash that much. She knows it might save a fortune on bills later in life if she can get the experience.
I was going to say she could just have you as the dummy, mate, and just sort your brain out.
I'll tell you what, I've been called worse.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you what I've been called. Listen, Aiden, you guys, my favourite family, including Seb, just give us a peace out and a bye. This is the most viewers we've ever had. Thanks so much for stepping in for Ash. You've been well. Cheers, guys. Have a good night. Woo!
Yeah.
Bye. Love you.
You are on, mate. You too.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers. How do you end this? I forgot. Oh, here it is. Thanks, guys. Bye.